mean, how great was it? How did it feel to be out there throwing out the first pitch again at Citi Field with your son?
In the stadium.
8 years with this organization, the organization that drafted you. What is it about?
I feel like that hopefully they saw that, like, this guy runs the bases like he's invisible. Does a
huge play.
Sometimes there's a time and place to put your invisibility cloak on. You know what I mean, Steve? And so, yeah, that was
run. I know we've been talking about it for years. That Babe Ruth
necessarily in the greatest position, I felt like, but it went and it hit the porch out there, and I thought
the pressure in the bigger spots. You did in the playoffs, and honestly, you did playing.
I can always recall on that, and I think that it just really helped to slow my heart rate down. Try to go get a good ball.
Why did you have that pull after retiring a couple of years ago to give it one more shot?
Yeah,
you've retired. You've gotten your fill. You've got 4 kids. They're all here with you today. Your wife as well.
I'm always just observing the game. I mean, right now we're about to head into the postseason in October, and the baseball is coming in as well too, and so very exciting time.
Well, Murph, you've always been I know how much you love it, so enjoy watching.
A great knowledge of the game, and he would be a great addition to anybody's broadcast.
His year in 2016, he had 47 doubles. He led the national.
And it happened late in that 2015 season. At the great post for Tyler McGill, it's 4-0 to York.
Going to win this game, and over 8.5 runs will be scored. That's going off right now at plus 115, fellas.
First thing today, you know, we saw or noted that he's throwing the split finger, and you saw Nervais.
Time got him a chance to get there. But really a nice hustling play.
No, I was just saying about McGill. If you've been watching the first 4.
Rounded out in the second. Takes a splitter down from Walker. A ball and 2 strikes. If you missed the news earlier, Brandon Nimmo surgery. Ortega slugs one out to right, but Pache has plenty of room as he may have the potential to have as good a defensive outfield as any team can put on the spring training this year. And he was supposed to be a much bigger part of this team, but he's had a couple of stints on the IL, and that left and then walked in the second, and he dribbles this one up the line, and it'll roll right to Harper, who puts the first 1-2-3 inning for Taijuan Walker. 4-0 Mets after 4. So far, this start is shaping up for McGill, much like his first time up, and he swings and misses at that changeup, and it's 1-1.
I think he's working on it. That's what I feel. And he just really hasn't got
1-2 coming to Marsh, and he hits one right past the mound, but there's Lindor. 1 out.
That's a little extreme, but tension really.
Oh, okay.
I used to take a step in.
Well, you always had your glove on the ground.
I did. I can't tell you how many balls that I caught holding a runner on.
Weston Wilson bounces one just foul.
Okay.
Marlin, of course, would play later for the Mets. 2-2 to Wilson. Strike 3 called. McGill picks off the outside. Muto in the 4th. 5 fastballs fouled back. Watching Taijuan Walker
Tonight, when asked, he said, you know, everyone has their own view, and there's a lot of new.
2-1 coming to Cave, and he lifts this one to center, barely through. 4-0 New York. It was just outrageous. Alonso skies one to shout. Pache, he'll get there. Sealed back, right?
Yes. Yes. Evidently, they never got outside the.
Lindor has walked and flied out. He chases one out of the strike zone. 0-1. No Metro card for the.
He's got to have a big day.
And 107 RBIs last year. First Mets.
Boy, it would be a nice little cherry on top for 100 RBI.
Walker gets him with the backdoor. Lindor has walked and flied out. He chases one out of the strike zone. 0-1. No Metro card for the.
He's got to have a big day.
And 107 RBIs last year. First Mets.
Boy, it would be a nice little cherry on top for 100 RBI.
Walker gets him with the backdoor. Both acquitted themselves quite nicely.
200 right on the nose.
Stewart has popped up and walked. And he takes a curveball outside.
And the pitch timer.
Road blocked by it. Stewart flies it for Marsh. Played 5. It's 4-0 New York. Christian Pache leads off for the Phillies and checks the swing on a slider. It's a strike. We saw Kodai Senga finish his season. Pache fouls off. Walk and a strikeout. Foul tip, strike 3. Pache down.
We'll follow the money.
We'll talk more in the second game. Strikeout. And he flies this one out to her. 2 Honda dealers. Gary. Off. Here's Edmundo Sosa. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Sosa's hit 2 balls on the ground of Bono's sandwiches. McGill is not. 0-2 coming to Sosa. Struck him out. High fastball by McGill for his 7th. Mets in the 6th. 1 for 2 today, facing Taijuan Walker, who's settled in nicely to retire 9 in a row after a rocky is behind Walker today. But then Rob Thompson, their manager, said in the soak up as many innings as he could, preparatory to whatever comes next week. Let's head over to Steve Gelbs' report as brought.
That's one of, if not the biggest takeaways from this group of young players before the game today, that the #1 lesson he learned this year as Beatty grounds out to the right side. And Vientos, they've got a pretty big mentor in Brandon Nimmo, who has committed the second half of the teach them the mental side of the game, the way that Curtis Granderson sit in the dugout with Beatty and Vientos, and they would watch at bat. You think the next pitch is going to be? Why is he doing that? They said for years, this is the first time that just a different way to approach the game than at any point in their life. And I think
Sure, there's a lot more info now. You're playing in both leagues, and I'm not having got enough time to.
On to the 7th we go in game 1 of the doubleheader. 4-0. Time since April of last year that McGill has thrown a pitch in the 7th inning, and he gets a first pitch grounder from Hart. Of course, McGill against the Phillies last year. Realmuto smacked his and the Phillies' second hit of the day.
Last inning, not against Realmuto. Bullet. Hustle.
Well, the Jays didn't score in the bottom of the 9th. And gets a breaking ball and flies it out. Stewart gives some ground. Paolo McGill only once in his career was against the Yankees 2 years ago. He's got 2 out in the 7th today with a 4-0. And Marsh with a check swing foul on the fastball, and it's 1-0. And as has often been the case with McGill, you can see that velocity backing up. The hardest hit ball of the day. And Marsh grounds one. Alonso down to his knees to get it. 7 scoreless innings. 4-0 New York.